Hi, I'm Hannah. Thanks for watching. I probably have no memories of it. We're hoping for snow. Welcome back to Hannah G Knits. This is where I share the video version of what I'm knitting, what yarn I've gotten, what I finished, what I might be designing, and I get to hear from you guys about what you're working on too. Today I have a sort of regular projects update video for you. Last week I rejoined the world of YouTube with my New Year, New Yarn video. So if you haven't watched that, please watch it and check out the crazy amount of yarn that I collected over the last 4 or 5 months since I've been off of YouTube and welcomed my daughter into our family. Now, I don't usually have that much yarn coming in. Some of it was frogged yarn, de-stash yarn, things like that, but it was a lot of yarn for me. And as we sort of go throughout the year, you'll see I don't usually have that much. It has been since July that I posted my last project update video, so that's a lot of months in between. Honestly, looking back at those months, I don't remember what I knitted, what I started, what I didn't finish. It was kind of a blur. I did go back and check my video to see what I had worked on and then what I, hadn't finished and all of that. So I have a few things to show you that I finished since then. But if there's something that you remember that I posted about, I probably have no memories of it at this point. And so please let me know or leave me a comment if there's something missing from this video. But I have some things. I think I showed this to you. This is my Tahka Cardigan My Size by Sarah from Noelle Knits, and I love it. I'm not gonna try it on because just a lot of moving parts, but I'll find a picture of me wearing it so you can see the fit. I'm trying to think if there's mods that I've made. I shortened the sleeves a little bit, and I think that's all. So this is I believe it's worsted weight. It's intended to be 2 strands held together like fingering and mohair, but I just did 1 strand of Cascade 220 non-superwash worsted weight, and it's maybe fisherman's rib or brioche, I can't remember. And it has this lovely double knit button band, and yeah, it's just very classic piece. I wanted a black cardigan. I got this yarn last year, 2 years ago for my birthday, and I had just been holding on to it to see what I wanted to make, and this was it. This is what I wanted. I have worn it quite a bit actually this winter. I haven't been wearing my knits a lot because having a baby, she spits up a lot, and so it just gets everywhere, and I'm not wanting to wash these a ton. Yeah, I'm really happy with it. If I made it again, I'm trying to think if there's anything. I might not shorten the sleeves. I was concerned about running out of yarn, and so since I have shorter than the average arm, they're a great fit, but I did have a pretty good sized half a ball of yarn left, and so I could have made them longer if I wanted to, but I'm really happy with it. I got these buttons. I don't remember where, but they're on. Sarah does both adult knits and kid knits, and I haven't made a lot of the kid knits, but I like this one a lot. She has a kid one too, so you can match your kiddo. Okay, next is my Farnham Tee. I love this. I don't think I had even started it when I posted my last video, but here she is. This is by Sophie, the Knit Purl Girl, and it is I believe it's DK maybe, but I used fingering weight. It's another one of the hold 2 strands together, but I wanted something lighter and without mohair, so I'm just doing the fingering weight. So I just did fingering weight. This is Cascade 220 fingering. I got it maybe 4 or 5 years ago for a gift knit, and it ended up, the gift knit didn't work out. I chose a different yarn, and so I've just been holding on to it, and I decided I wanted to use it and make something for myself, and so I knit the sweater. Really clear instructions. This shoulder is beautiful, the way the stripes come together, and it was very clear, no confusion. I loved it. I love the funnel neck. Yeah, it was a great, well-written pattern, and definitely recommend. I modified the sleeves to be longer, which I'm happy with because I feel like they're still a little bit short, and I also added length to the body, which I still feel like maybe it's a little short on me. I'll show some pictures of me wearing it, but I'm really happy with it overall. And I think as like the seasons change, as my life goes back to a little bit of normal, I will find myself wearing this a lot more. It is one I reach for though, because the fingering weight is just so easy to wear, and it's light, and it's actually not that cold where I live. We have snow in the forecast, so I'm recording this now in case it's cloudy for the next like week. We have snow in the forecast. It's been in the forecast before. But where I live, we usually get one good snow a year, and the last maybe 3 years we haven't gotten any snow, a good snow. And so I'm really hoping this year we get it, because Ollie, my son, he's almost 4, he really wants it to snow. I'd love for my daughter to get to see snow for her first year. So anyway, we're hoping for snow. I know that in a lot of places snow is either a nuisance or it's just gets in the way. Here where I live, it's rare and it's usually really fun. I'm doubtful though. I have not told my son that there's a snowflake on the forecast. I don't believe it. I'll believe it when I see it. Those are my finished objects. I have not finished anything in a while that I've kept. I knit 2 hats as gifts for Christmas. I knit a few small things for Christmas gifts, but I did not take pictures of them or anything like that. They were kind of like last minute ideas, and so I didn't get a chance to, get some good photos of those. But if I get some of the wearers wearing them, the recipients wearing them, I will share those. Okay, I have a lot of projects in my knitting bag, so I'm just gonna start with my knitting bag, and then I'm gonna move on to other works in progress. I cast on a lot of projects, but this one I'm so excited about. I keep pulling hairs off because the postpartum hair loss is so real. So if you see me doing that, that is why. But this is another Azor sweater by Teague Knitwear. This is a colorwork yoke sweater, and it is fingering weight. I'm trying to roll it down so you can see how far I've made it. And I love it. I have knit this before. I have a blue and gold one. It was one of the first sweaters I ever made. I think it was my second sweater. I don't know why I picked colorwork for my second sweater. I think when I first started knitting, I really wanted to try all the techniques. So try a cable sweater, try a colorwork sweater, try all of that. I think this will look a lot better. My tension and my color dominance and all of that, I didn't know about any of those things at the time. So it's fun to see how far I've come based on that sweater and this sweater. I still wear the other sweater. It has a lot of mistakes. Yeah, that's okay. But this is I thought I was gonna finish it in 2024. I did not. This will be a 2025 sweater. And I'm working on the body now. I still have maybe 4 inches left before the ribbing. I want this to be full length. I don't want it to be cropped. And then I'll do the sleeves. And the yarn I'm using is Camper by Kelbourne Woolens. I have for a long time been a fan of their yarn. I thought I had some to show you, but I just have the wound up one. I have been a fan of their yarn for a long time. I often use their Scout yarn, and this is the fingering weight version of Scout. There's a new yarn shop in my area. I guess it's been a year. It's not really that new. And it's called Oak City Fibers, and the owner is named Glenn, and he is a wonderful person. And when I went for the shop opening, I decided I should buy something. Bought some of this yarn for my brother-in-law, and I didn't know what color to get him, so I got 2 different colors of the browns to try and sort of feel out which color he would like better for Christmas. And I just kept the ones that he didn't like. And so this year, that was maybe a year ago. Yeah, I guess it was a year ago since they had just opened. And so this year I decided to use the leftovers and make a sweater. And here it is. I'll put the colors in the description box because I don't remember them, but let's see if this will focus. This is a lovely brown, and it has a little bit of heather in it, and I think the lighter color does as well, but I'm not totally sure what they're called. Let's see what else is in my bag. My hat. I don't really need that in my knitting bag. Ooh, some chocolate. Okay, these are not knitting related. This is the swatch for that sweater. I did swatch it in the round. I found the Camper to be a little bit of a heavier fingering weight yarn, but I love how it feels. I think when I first knit this swatch, I told my sister I want to knit every sweater in this yarn now because it just feels so, like, this is my kind of yarn that I like. It's 100% wool. I don't think it's superwash, but it's also not super woolly wool. It's got a nice twist to it. Yeah, I really like it. Okay, let's see. Okay, I'll show you this next. I am knitting a Mouche Friends for my son, and I wanted to finish this for Christmas, but he saw me working on it and he said, "What are you doing?" I said, "I'm finishing your squirrel." He said, "That's okay, you don't have to have it for Christmas," which I felt like was very mature for a 3-year-old, or he's just not that excited about it. I think it's a mix of both. He wanted me to do something else with him, and so yeah, I haven't finished it. But this is my squirrel, Hazel. I hope she focuses because she's really cute. If not, I'll put some pictures in of her. So I picked Hazel the Squirrel to make for Ollie because I already had the yarn. So I looked at the fingering weight knitting for olives that I had, and I just looked through the book to see what colors would go well with what I had. And if you're unfamiliar, this is Mouche Friends. I have a video about it. I knit these first as a sample knit and then as a gift knit, and now I'm finally knitting some for my household. Technically still a gift knit because they're for my son, but I wanted to make him one for Christmas. And then, like I said, he saw me working on it one night and said, "That's okay, you don't have to finish it," which was just very cute. So there's just a lot of sweet little animals. They're so detailed. I thought that I was done with the squirrel. I did the body and head and all of that. I'm gonna put this back in so I don't lose my spot. And I finished all of it except the 2 legs, and then I did the ears, and I thought I'll add the tail because, you know, I've got a few more days till Christmas. I'll go ahead and get this wrapped up. And then the tail's almost as big as the squirrel, and I think it had so many short row sections, like maybe 8, to add all of this like sort of realistic curving, I guess, of the tail. So it's almost the same size as the squirrel, and it took me way longer than I thought it was going to take me. And I finish it hopefully today, get it washed, get it stuffed. I'm excited because I'm going to use a lot of yarn scraps to stuff the squirrel. When I'm knitting a gift knit, I use just the traditional fiber fill, but because this is for my son, I think it will be fun to use a lot of different yarns from the projects I've knit for him or for other family members, for myself. It'll just be sweet. I think he'll probably won't know to stuff it with those things. And yeah, this is Hazel. He said I can pick the clothes, so I don't know what I'm gonna make yet. Probably a sweater just for the beginning because I don't know how to make the clothes to go over the tail. Like, that's gonna be a really big tail hole, I guess. But a sweater will be easy for her to wear. And I can't wait for her to be stuffed and see her little face. I gotta make one for my daughter now. I don't know what I'm gonna make her. We'll see what yarn I have. Actually, I'm gonna just turn it off. Turn the heat off, so hopefully that will help the sound quality. What else is in my bag? Lots of things. Let's see, some other things. So this, I'll talk more about this later in my yarn acquisitions, but this is a tiny sock for my daughter, and it is so cute. Hopefully that focused. So I don't know what the main color is, but my friend Eunice, Therapy by Craft, she sent me a yarn advent that she made with sort of scraps from a lot of her projects, and so it was like a Scrappy Advent. She makes a lot of socks. Honestly, I feel like she is the sock expert at this point, and so she sent me a advent out of her yarn that she, you know, had finished her socks and she had some left, and it was so special to open it every day. Whew, this is tangled. Okay. It was so special to open it every day and also know, like, she put this together, she spent time on it, and yeah, I will show you in a little bit when I get to acquisitions. It was a very special gift, and so this is one of the pairs I'm working on. I'm gonna do this one with an afterthought heel, so I'm just gonna knit the tube and then cut into it. I'm using this Knit Picks sock yarn as the contrast color, and my plan is to knit a bunch of socks for her and just make them all with this little contrast stripe and contrast heel, but use the different 10 grams that Eunice put together. So they'll be all different mixed matchy socks, but they'll all have the little stripes, so I know like these go together, these are the same size. That's my plan. And then as she gets older, like since babies grow so rapidly at the beginning, I'm gonna do different color contrast stripes for the ages that she is. So that's the plan. I think I'm gonna make her like 4 of the size she's wearing now, and then I'll make some for the summer as well, and they'll have a different color contrast stripe. So that's kind of my plan. I wanna get creative with the scrappiness that Eunice sent, but I don't trust myself to do it right. So mostly I've just been looking at Eunice's pictures and making sure that, like, putting together the colors that look good. Anyway, it's exciting and it was very kind. Here's another one. This is the other one that I'm working on, the other color that will have the blue stripes as well. So that's everything in my knitting bag, I think. Well, there's a lot of other things in here that are unrelated. I have maybe 2 or 3 more, and then I'll get to my acquisitions. This is a hat for my husband. I don't know if I ever shared it because it might have been before my knitting podcast days, but I knit the same hat for my husband out of Scout, Kelbourne Woolens Scout, in a very similar color, charcoal gray. And yeah, it went through the wash maybe 6 months after I made it. It was his favorite though, and I have not made him another one since. I made him other hats, but this, if you've made this hat, you know it takes some time because you knit it twice to fold it into itself. So you knit like a super long and then it stuffs on in. A nice hat that's extra warm, but it does take a minute. So I'm using Cascade 220 Superwash this time, for in case it ever goes through the wash again. And it's basically the same color, and hopefully it will be just as loved. He loved that hat so much, he wore it almost every day. So I'm hoping to finish it up soon. It would be nice if I could finish it like this week. I'm just gonna put some stitches on now because this week has been really cold. It's been in the mostly 20s to 30s Fahrenheit, which is cold for here where I live. I know a lot of you watching are not fazed by that temperature. You have much colder winters than we do here, but it's just chilly for us. And we do a lot of driving. We don't have like public transport. So there's just a lot of like running out to get in the car. And so you don't really need like a big coat, but you need something for your head and your hands. So accessories are good for this weather, which is why I'm making myself a hat as well, and maybe I'll work on this one too while I chat. So this is the lovely ribbed hat by Purl Soho. This is one of the hat patterns I knit as a gift for Christmas this year. I knit a gift for one of my husband's dear friends that he has gotten to know over the last years, and so I wanted to make him something special because he's just been a really good friend to us. And I posted on my Instagram stories a few days ago, but I had made this hat a year ago, I believe, for a trip, and it was very last minute to make myself a hat. I knit my son one and my husband one, and I thought I also want one. And so I made myself one, but it was just in a time crunch and there was a lot going on at the time, and so I did not get to make it fit super well. It was just too small. And I loved the yarn though and how it came together. And so I decided this year I was going to frog it and make it into a hat that I loved and could wear all the time. So that is what I'm doing. Now this is not best practice. As you can see, I did not wash the yarn before I started knitting this. If I was making a sweater, I would absolutely wash it, let it dry, even maybe do it twice to get all of the curls and memory out of the yarn, but I just did not this time because I wanted to start working on it. Previously it was a brioche hat, and now it's just going to be ribbed. So I don't know what that's going to do to the yarn. If it was a gift, again, I would wash it, but since it's for myself, I'm just going to hope for the best. And we will see. So I'm excited about this because I have one hat that I pulled out of my bag that I wear all the time. It's my classic ribbed hat by Purl Soho, free pattern. They kindly sent me the yarn. I used Cashmere Merino Bloom, and I knit that maybe 2 years ago, and I loved it, and I wear it all the time. That's like my one hat I wear constantly in the winter. So I want to have another one that I wear often, and I'm hoping this will be it. This is Woolberry Fiber Co. Berry Suri that I did buy. It's in October, is the colorway. It's left over from a sweater I made. And then the other yarn is also Woolberry. I don't know the name of it. I think it's probably the berry sock. Oh, maybe it's berry cashmere. I don't know. I was sent it in a yarn swap. I'm trying to use up all the odds and ends in my yarn pantry, and I had knit the cashmere yarn into a pair of socks for my mom, and I had probably half the skein left, and so I made it into a hat last year, and now I'm remaking it into a hat this year, and hopefully it will be perfect. One last work in progress. I have so many. I think this is just a picture of how my brain was the last couple of months. Like, I just never really finished anything, and I just kept picking up more stuff and working on it because I just did. I didn't have any deadlines for designing, and so I just kept casting on. And this is my swatch. I'm gonna go get Poppy, and then I will be back. I am back, and Poppy is down here with me, and so you might hear her a little bit. She's very talkative. You're welcome to say anything if you want, Poppy. This is something I just cast on yesterday. So quick disclaimer, if you're looking for an instant gratification project, I think this might be it because I started this yesterday and I don't have a lot of knitting time in my life right now. My husband has been like really kind and been sending me after everyone's in bed and the usual chores are done. He's like, go do something for yourself. You don't need to do any of the extra chores. Like, we just still aren't totally unpacked. We've got Christmas stuff still up, things like that. And so he's been doing that and just letting me have like a good hour and a half of me time to just do whatever. So last night I spent doing this. I had swatched previously, and then here's the swatch, and I hadn't cast on yet. So I'll tell you what this is. This is the Tahka Cardigan by Sari Nordlun, and my sister is knitting it as well. So it's sort of a sister knit. We sometimes do the same projects, and we haven't done one in a while. So this is really special. I am using Cascade Eco Plus Merino. I got this on sale. It's often on sale. I think it might be on sale right now on Jimmy something. Cool. Anyway, I got this maybe 2 years ago to make my husband a sweater, and he has since told me that he just doesn't want me to make him a sweater because he knows he is very tall and he knows it'll be a lot of time, and he sees me knit and he's like, just knit for yourself or design or knit for the kids. So it's not that he doesn't want a sweater. Well, he doesn't really want a sweater, but it's because, yeah, he knows it's gonna be a lot, and I would do it. I bought the yarn, but he said, it's okay. Just keep making me hats. If you make me a new hat every year, I'll be happy. So I will keep doing that. And so I was just saving the yarn for a project, and my sister had the same yarn, and so we are making them together. I'll try and have her on so we can talk about them. Honestly, I think they're both brown. They might be the same color. We did not buy the yarn together, but just how it goes sometimes. And I did recently see that the color of the year is brown. I don't know that it's this color brown, but that's okay. So this is the Tahka Cardigan, and you can kind of see how it's coming to shape up. Yeah. This has the button band attached, or I don't think it has buttons, so just what is it called if it doesn't have buttons? Anyway, this is the front, and then you have like the back and the little shoulder seam. So it's coming together really, really quickly. I think the gauge is like 12 stitches maybe. And I'm using 10.5. I think it calls for US 10. And I could have gone bigger because my gauge is a little short, but I did not want it to be any looser. I think the yarn will stretch enough as it is, just based on like the weight of the cardigan. So I'm excited to make this to have something that's open front. I can wear it over my carrier is the goal, because I carry Poppy a lot. Like, I wear her in a carrier or a wrap, and so having something that can go over in the winter would be really nice, and I can wrap her up in it as well. I did modify the button band, or whatever it's called, to be double knit instead of the ribbed. I think I'll probably finish this one before I finish my fingering weight colorwork sweater, just because this, I can see the finish line much closer on this versus that one. This is definitely oversized fit, so it will take a little bit of time, but I think it will be shorter. I think overall it's maybe 800 yards for my size of bulky weight yarn, so that's gonna be 2 of these. Stay tuned. YouTube saw it first. I don't think I put this on my Instagram yet. This is Jill Draper Make Stuff Mohawk Light Smoke Bush. So this is 550 yards for 113 grams. So I think that's maybe a light fingering weight. I don't totally know. This is 100% lamb's wool, hand dyed with love, made from sheep to skein in the US. I have 3 of these, so total, what is that? Like 1,700 yards. So my sister got this for me from, maybe my mom. They got it together. I know they were together because they went to the yarn shop together, and I was thinking, oh, you guys didn't invite me to the yarn shop? Kind of bummed. And then I got this for Christmas, and I realized that they got it for me there. So this is from Oak City Fibers, and they have really good sales. So they had this for, I think it was like 60% off. So my sister got some, I got some. I can't remember what color she got, maybe orangey red. I don't know what I'm gonna make with it. So beautiful, I hope it comes through okay. But I don't know what I'm gonna make with it yet. Or I could hold it with something, but I don't have like a Suri or a mohair in this color. And I don't know that I wanna buy one this year, so I'll either hold on to it or I'll do something like a lightweight summer sweater. Ooh, this is sounding really nice. Summer sweater, maybe a texture, since I have so much of it. Okay, this is sounding, oh, you know what I could do? Andrea Mowry has I think it's light fingering or fingering weight, and it's fisherman's rib or half fisherman's rib or brioche or something. I know Emily Curtis has made one, and she said it was one of her most worn sweaters this year. So I have had my eye on that for a while, but I know it takes a ton of yarn and a ton of time. So maybe that will be a year-long project. Now I'm really excited. I think I know what I'm gonna make. I'll put a picture up and the name because I don't remember them. And yeah, so I've never used this yarn before, but it feels so springy. It feels similar to Camper from Kelbourne Woolens that I was talking about earlier. And I also wanted to show you all, well, I won't show you all of them because there's a lot, but show you the yarn that Eunice sent me. So here is the big skein that was for Christmas Day. This is Knitting Lizard Fibers, which I hadn't heard of. And this is their BFL twist sock set. Superwash BFL nylon, and the colorway is bluegrass. And it is just absolutely stunning. I think I will make socks out of this. I feel like it will be a good spring sock. I don't know. I like to have just a project on my needles for the car, and I feel like socks are good for that, whether I am, you know, stuck in a drive-through for Chick-fil-A, or if I am, my husband decides to drive and then I have a project so I can knit while he drives. Yeah, so I think this will be good for that. But she also just sent me, these are all in my bags because she sent a few different categories of sock yarn. So she has some, oh, these are the self-stripings. And so I wanted to keep them together to kind of preserve that. I don't know yet if I'm gonna use them all in that way, but I wanted to preserve how she had intended them to be. So it's fun to see the socks she made with the yarns that she's now sent to me. So if you don't follow Eunice, you need to. She has a YouTube channel and also an Instagram channel. And she very thoughtfully put all the colors and the yarn compositions. Hi. This is a lot of opal, she said, and it just has different textures, or not textures, it has different designs throughout the yarn. This is a lot of Arcane fiberworks, and that's what I'm using for Poppy's socks right now. Ollie has asked for all of the blues. Every day that I opened one, he would wait and see if it was blue, and if it was blue, he would say, can I have that, or can you make me something with it, because he loves blue. So I really like this one a lot. I mean, honestly, I like them all, but self-stripings I think are going to be very fun as well. Like, look how fun that is. So, very fun, very excited. Anyway, this was a little chaotic, but thank you for watching if you made it all the way to the end. I'm getting back into the routine of recording and sharing with you guys. Oh, what I'm wearing. I want to share what I'm wearing. This is my Calm Down sweater by Lily Kate Makes. I test knit this last year, about a year ago, and it is in De Natura Ulysses. That was the recommended yarn, and I believe I bought it last fall, so maybe a year and a half ago on a trip to Paris with my son and husband, and I got it at Little Weasel, or Lil Weasel. I'm really happy with it. When I put it on, I did think, wow, this is really short. I don't remember it being so short. And why did I make it this short? Because I don't know if you can see, but the body is pretty short, especially with like the low underarm here. And I remembered it's because I ran out of yarn. I think I made a YouTube video about it, and maybe I titled it Dye Lot Disaster, because that's how I was feeling. And they're so different. So I ended up doing the sleeves and the body in the new dye lot. But I think next time if I knit it again, I would size down, just because of the way it's oversized here. And then I didn't have enough to make it long and oversized. So that's kind of on me. But I do really like it. And I wore it a lot after I first made it. We went to Disneyland right after I finished it. And it was freezing. I was not expecting it to be so cold. So I have fond memories of wearing this at Disneyland, and I had just finished it, so it was very special. Anyway, that's all I have today. Thank you for watching. I hope you have a wonderful weekend.